Welcome to today's episode of our Healthy Mind podcast. Today's guest is an awesome man. He's a business owner, actor, rugby player, but most of all, he's an open heart man and such an inspiration for all of us. That's exactly the message we want to put out there, how important it is our health and our mindset in this moment in time in particular. So this is a specific time you need to react and bounce back positively to whatever is happening around you. So please welcome Joe Naufahu. Hey, good morning. How are you?
How you doing, brother?
Very well.
Very good, bro. Very good.
Thank you so much for your time. I know that all of us, we have some incredible story that we went through, and it can be really, really inspiring for lots of people that maybe they see too much of the problem and not enough of the solution.
Yeah.
For example, I just introduced me very, very quickly. I'm Italian and I live in Australia. And since 2008, I'm always been like a competitive athlete in different sports, in the fitness industry for more than 20 years. And
Nice.
what it really changed is not about knowledge, is not about the fitness industry, but it's about health. So
Yeah.
in 2006, I got a big motorbike accident. And I found myself in a coma for 24 hours. And I woke up in a hospital bed and I couldn't even walk. So what happened is I went through some difficult time, and I found out when I woke up that a lots of normal things that were not normal anymore, like going to the bathroom or dress up or someone just wash my body and all these things that were not normal. But the thing is, as soon as I asked the doctor, I said like, oh, can I go back to normal? They said, yes, but. And I said, I don't want to even hear the but. I want to focus on what can I do to go back to normal. So that's what I did. I went through all the process, did lots of physio and hard work. And I remember the first time that I started to walk a little bit, a tractor took me to take me like 6 minutes running. It took me 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Sure.
But it was great because every day I was trying to go at 1 minute faster. And then finally I got to the point that I could hit the gym again after working with the physio, working with the pool. And everything in that year of work, it was in 2006, it shifted a lot my mindset. And I understood how important it is to use the fitness as a tool to attract more people and shift their mindset and shift their beliefs and see as a really positive tool to fix everything else around it. Because as we know, if we're positive, we exercise. If we want to lift more, you're going to be strong here. If you want more energy, you need to eat cleaner and more and better. If you want to be stronger in your mindset, you need to spend more time with other positive people that are stronger than you, and get different kind of habits. So all the purpose of this podcast is around that: create positivity and a positive shift in mindset. Is that something that is resonate with you?
Yeah, big time, bro. I feel exactly the same thing. Exercise for me is it's like you say, it's a tool. It's a foundation, it's a step towards mental health, which is probably that's for me. It's probably the most important thing is mental health. And I think for me over the years, exercise has been it's been a tool, a way to get through it all. It's hard, because I mean, it's almost sometimes you have to go through some hardship, or you have to have a tragedy occur in your life before you kind of wake up to yourself or realize that the only answer is to turn inwards, and most of the time like we end up blaming things, or this didn't happen, or it was because of that and because of this, but we never really stop and take the time to understand that whatever hardship we're going through, it's supposed to be that way, and we just have to adapt and learn to deal with it. For me, that was it took some dark times in my life, and I had to take make decisions, you know, which were hard decisions, but you know, there were areas of my life that I learned probably the most, you know, was in those dark times, you know. So I used to play rugby, bro. I was a pro rugby player, and I was playing in Scotland at that time. I was playing for Glasgow Warriors, and I started having really sore knee, you know, started playing up. And anyway, it would get so sore that I wouldn't be able to train through the week. So I'd play the game on a Saturday, and then I'd only train like once during the week before the game. So it was just, you know, and I stopped enjoying, you know, the sport, which I grew up loving, and then I had a really bad accident during a game, and went into surgery, and came out the doc, took out most of my meniscus, and like a stress fracture down through my tibia, and my fibula snapped, and he said, look, if you want to carry on playing, we can rehab you, get you right, and in about 9 months you'll be 100%. But in saying that, you are risking, you know, your quality of life later on. And I was like, shit, man. And, you know, the rugby was all I'd known, you know. It's like something came and pulled out the rug from underneath me, you know, and took away something. It was my identity, you know. It was I didn't know what else I could do after that. So I got myself right, and I tried to play again, but it was never right. And fell into a bit of a depression, and, you know, I didn't really feel good enough to go out to the gym. So I just used to train at home, you know, and that's why I picked up a lot of the functional stuff that I do now, because I just didn't feel like 100%. I didn't feel like a whole man. I felt like half a man, because, you know, my sense of identity, which at the time, which was what I thought it was absolutely not, you know, was taken away. And so, yeah, I just spent a lot of time at home by myself, and then I got an opportunity to do some acting, you know. Got into acting, bro. I love that. And then, you know, I spent a bit of time on a construction site, you know, doing the hard yards, finding myself again, bro. And then I started my gym 10 years ago now, and you know, ever since then, yeah, I mean, exercise and training and sport has been a huge part of my life. And, you know, I just try to share the values and the I guess the philosophy that I have behind exercise with whoever I can, bro. You know, and really what I created with like my gym, but it was just a community where
exactly.
You know, people.
What I wanted to point, because I can imagine that what you created in the last 2 years, of course, is based on fitness and is based on performance. But as we said, is an awesome tool to create that environment and support the people through your experience, to give them your best, to shift to the positive, because some people are strong enough to react. Sometimes there are opportunities that we can take, but most of us, maybe, they need that support. They need that community side. And how much can you relate the results to that community side for mental health?
You know, I think it's in the human nature to want to belong to something. You know, we're tribal. You know, so we want to know that we're part of something. You know, we're not. Well, for the most part, you know, we need a place where we can go and feel like we can express ourselves without judgment. You know, there's my gym, bro. We don't have any mirrors. There's no mirrors there. Have a look around. No mirrors anywhere, brother.
Good, great space.
You know, and I firmly believe, you know, that you know, in order to heal, which I feel like a gym is a place where you go and heal. You know, I feel like in order to heal properly, you have to take away that, you know, the self-consciousness and the image, and focus on feeling better rather than looking better. You know, the looking better comes along with it, but, you know, first and foremost, you got to feel better. You know. You know, you get the abs and all that stuff, you know, but if you're not feeling right, it's what good is it? It's worth nothing, you know.
I absolutely love this conversation, because it's exactly in line with what I was talking to Steve Cotter, a great example. But what I always say to my students every single day, like, most of the time we have people coming to us and say, well, what do you want from me? What would you like? What would you like to achieve? And they say, I'm going to lose 20 kilos, or I want a bigger body. But in the end, I always say, if we focus on the way you can feel, and if you can move better and be happier and be more efficient, as a natural consequence, you can simply do more and do it better. So as a natural consequence, again, you also look better. But it's simply, you don't even think about it. It just happens.
Yeah, totally, bro. I mean, I think, you know, in terms of sustainability, you know, I mean, like you say, people come in, oh man, I really want to get a six-pack, Joe, or, you know, hey man, I want to drop 10 kgs for summer, you know. And the thing is, you can do that all for them, you know, but how long is that going to last? You know, when is the next time they're going to put weight on again? Or are we trying to train them around thinking is training them to love themselves and to be kind to themselves, so that when they actually exercise, it's an act of kindness. It's not a punishment. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, because I had that same mentality when I used to exercise. I wanted to punish myself. You know, I didn't like myself, so I was like, man, I'm gonna smash you today. You know, I'm just gonna nail this set, and hopefully I'll feel better afterwards. You know, and when I started to change my mind better around what I was actually trying to achieve, which I was trying to make myself feel better. And then it becomes a gift, because not everyone can exercise. This is the thing that people take for granted, you know. There's so many people that don't have the ability physically, you know, for starters, to actually move and exercise. So it's a real gift, you know, the privilege. Yeah, and we often forget that. But when you start really thinking about it and know it's a gift, then the fruits are endless. You just keep getting, you know, those positive vibes from it.
Exactly. And why are we still talking about fitness is because in the end, the purpose, the philosophy is not different in obstacles that we find in life.
Yeah, totally.
It's
sorry, my daughter's asking to go upstairs. Yeah, brother.
It's not different. It's there is, like, in this right time, there are lots of obstacles and there are lots of unknown things to come. We don't know what to expect. So lots of people, they can, you know, just get back. But it's important to use exactly the same mentality. If you focus on feel good and see the positive, for example, you're stuck at home and maybe you have a chance to spend more time with your kids. Usually you're too busy at work, or you can develop something new online, or you can read more books that they always did and you never have time to read it, or not enough. So if you do that, you condition your mind as you condition your body. And I believe with the same philosophy, you're ready to bounce back when everything is open up again.
Yeah, totally, bro. I mean, you know, it's funny, you know, the paradox of feeling good and looking good. You know, I mean, why do most people take selfies at the end of a workout? That's when you look your worst, but you feel your best, right? So that's when they take photos. People don't take photos before they're about to start a workout. You know, they take it at the end because they've achieved something. You know, and so that feeling, that, you know, ultimately that feeling of elation and euphoria that you get, you know, from endorphins and, you know, all the exercise and the sense of achievement at the end of the workout. If you look at that, you know, that's like the gold at the end of the rainbow, you know. And so when you start looking at exercise or your daily routine, you know, if you've got to go to the gym at night after work, or you got to get up early to go to the gym. But if you look at it from a point of view of, shit, I'm giving myself, this is my gift for the day, you know, you look forward to it rather than, oh man, damn it, I got to go to the damn gym today, you know, I got to bloody do a workout today. Which is what most people, they see it as a task, you know. It's changing that paradigm around how you view exercise, you know.
It should be a pleasure.
It should be a pleasure, man. It's a privilege, brother, you know, being able to exercise, because there's going to be a day, you know, I mean, you know, this, the high intensity stuff, you know, I don't do as much of it as I used to, you know, back in the day when I was a lot younger, you know, because the body was, you know, always ready to go. Now I gotta manage it, you know. I do a lot of a variety of things, go hiking and, you know, ride bike, you know, I do a lot of different things, but you have to adapt. The whole time, you know, the whole thing is, all I'm creating for myself is a daily gift, a ritual that I can, you know, bestow upon myself, so that I feel better, I feel good about myself, you know, physically, and then that gives the mental side of it the platform it needs, you know.
Exactly, because I always use 3 words to explain what we do.
Yeah.
It's simple, achievable, sustainable.
Beautiful.
And that's for me is the key, that it took me a long time to figure it out how to put it in 3 words. Because if it's simple, you can actually do it. It doesn't matter where you start. If it's achievable, you get there and you get the pleasure and to achieve something. And then it's definitely sustainable. So it's not something we were talking about before. Okay, if you go too hard and you get like that perfect body, how long is going to last? When is going to be the next time that you're going to lose everything back again? But creating something sustainable, you're always in that pleasure momentum.
Exactly. Well, no one can judge you on how you feel, right? People can judge you, but they can judge you on how you look. So what's more important? I don't want no one judging me on how, they can't judge me on how I feel. I feel great. No one's going to judge me and say, nah, you don't feel great.
Yeah.
You know, that's me. I own that. Whereas, you know, with looks, it's like, you know, you're always going to be striving for something better. You know, you look at Instagram, you're always going to see someone's got a better body than you, or someone's, you know, got more abs or whatever. You always judge. That's the thing about, you know, that's dangerous with social media, is because, you know, people are always putting their best foot forward. You know, they're always putting the nicest picture up, or, you know, they're not going to show when they're going through tough times, or, you know, because that's not, you know.
I think that's the most important thing.
So it's a judgment system, you know.
It's important. The question that we ask ourselves, like, I see people at the gym that every single day, for example, they go on scale. And this is the kind of metric that I use to understand they feel good. But I prefer to ask questions like, how do you feel today? How is your energy level? Did you have a nice sleep? Are you drinking enough water? And then, like, do you have a smile in your face? Like, every time they finish a workout and people, they smile, they're not smashed on the floor. I can see that is a good metric to make them happy and see if they're happy and feel good.
Totally, bro. Totally.
So that's awesome, because it's all related, guys. What we do in fitness is just a good excuse to bring you in a better position in life. It's not different. So what Joe is doing at his gym is exactly that. We were talking about community, and in this moment in time, there is nothing better than community. Nothing better than spend more time and invest your time with something in return. In happiness. That's the best method.
You know, and it's funny, you know, I mean, here we are, you know, you're from Italy, living in Australia now. You know, my parents are Polynesian, they're from the islands, and I live in Auckland. But, you know, I mean, look how big this universe is. But, you know, the thing is, we're vibrating at the same frequency, you know.
Exactly.
We have the same wavelength. This is why, you know, the world works in funny ways. The universe, bro, you know, it's brought us together because we're vibrating on the same wavelength. And that's the beautiful thing about, you know, karma and the way everything works. It's beautiful. It brings us together. That's the whole thing about community.
Yes.
You know, what you're vibrating at is bringing your community, the right people come to you. You know what I'm saying?
It's a positive flow, because before this conversation, like, it's maybe hard to believe. We didn't even never talk and know each other. But that's the first time ever. But it's when you are on the same vibes. It's like when I was talking to Steve, it's so natural, because positivity attracts positivity. And you can imagine if you put 2 people and then 4 and then 10 and then hundreds and then thousands together like that. That's the purpose of what I want to do with this podcast. Like, you receive so much positive vibrations, you were saying. And you get attracted. You get energy from it. It's awesome.
100%. You know, and this is the thing, you know, I you know, over the years, like for me, like, you know, my attitude to exercise and sport and life in general has evolved. You know, it's changed a lot, you know, and that's come about, like I said, you know, through hard times, going through, you know, tragedy and pain, and, you know, but for, you know, pain is like, it's the biggest teacher, you know, like, it's taught me, you know, I had to go through that pain to learn things, you know, to understand and to evolve. It's funny because, you know, so I've got some mates that say, man, you changed. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's good, eh? You know, because it is, we have to keep adapting. We have to keep
changing. Good opportunity.
It is, bro, you know? And so, you know, like every interaction that we have, like today, for example, bro, I'm learning from you, you know, this is an interaction which, you know, which we used to grow. So I'm grateful, bro, that you contacted me, man. And I love Steve, man. I've got so much respect for him, not only as an athlete, because, man, he's an amazing athlete, you know, but as a guy, you know, he was, it's funny, you know, I remember Steve, I kind of just set my gym up, bro, in Auckland. This was about 9-10 years ago now, and I saw on my Instagram Steve was traveling through Auckland, and I was like, far out, shit, this is the guy that I bloody idolize, you know, kettlebells, and you know, this was kind of back when, you know, kettlebells are mainstream now, you know, everyone knows what, but you know, a few years back, not everyone kind of knew, you know, kettlebells.
Yeah, it was a new tool.
Exactly. And Steve, you know, for me, has always been, you know, the man, you know. And I saw he was in Auckland, and I was like, I'll just send him a message, you know, see if he's keen. And I dropped him a message, man, straight away. This is the caliber of the guy, you know. This is the caliber of the man. He's got time for everyone. Yeah. He messaged me straight back, and he said, hey, man, where's your gym? I'd love to come and check it out, you know. And he was literally down at my gym in like 2 hours. You know, and we just started chatting, and you know, he was throwing the kettlebells around. I was like, damn, holy
it's unbelievable. And that's guys why we're really important even of this podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe we have different specialized knowledge, but that's not the most important thing right now. Is the heart. Is the heart and the connection that we can have between each other to give back more to you. And just if you open to receive, this is going to be amazing. It's like I'm always open to receive. I learned 2 big things in my life and my career. Yeah. One, as we were talking about before, never judge. Because when you see a person that maybe is too intimidated to go to the gym because he's 150 kilos, how do you know that she or he was working harder than you and before was 250 kilos?
Exactly.
And second thing is always be open, like be an empty cup. Because it doesn't matter how much you know, there is always something that you don't know. And if you open to receive, that's the only thing that you can put more in your bag and get the quality vibration. And even someone that maybe has 20 years experience less than you, they know something that you don't know. If you open, you can get it. And we all part of the same mission.
Yeah, 100%, brother. It's never an easy fix, eh? You know, I mean, that's the thing, you know, judging, you can never judge someone, you know, because the thing is, there's you know, if you see someone who's, you know, overweight or obese, there's a reason, you know, there's a reason why they're at that place, you know, and it's not a simple reason. This is probably something that is, you know, that has gone on for a long time, or, you know, there's something that has happened to them in their childhood, or, you know, they've been through some trauma, and it's
always a story.
It's changed the way that they see food. It's changed the way that they see exercise. So, you know, there's so many factors that, you know, when you're dealing with people that you have to take into account. That's why, like you say, bro, I'm with you, man. You gotta just, man, it's no judgment, and that's the big thing here at Ludus, bro. My gym is no judgment, man. You know, everyone's on the same level when you come in.
That's great.
Yeah, bro. You
make them feeling all at the same level, or they feel great. That's fantastic for the community side.
100%. You know, like for me, the best like feeling that I get, man, is, you know, when I have clients come in and you can see, you know, they got the weight of the world on their shoulders. They come in and they're like, you know, tired, and then about 10-15 minutes into the workout, you can see them like, you know, the smile on their face, and they're patting their face on the back, and you know. And that's the power of movement and exercise. You know, it's a primer for connection, and it's a primer for feeling good. You know, so
it's helping you so much to make other choices. Like when you go home and maybe you get that kind of food or that kind of food. There's one of my coaches from US, Martin Rooney, is he used to say, like, in the end, the physical effort to get, I don't know, a bad food, a junk food, or a good food is exactly the same. So when you say that I can't do that or I can't eat healthy, it's just in your mind, because it's exactly the same.
Exactly. And
the
thing is, it's, you know, like when you start feeling better about yourself, you start making better decisions. You know, when you don't feel good about yourself, you don't really care what decision you make. You know, if you don't have a high self-esteem, then you're not going to make a good food choice because you don't care about yourself enough, you know. But when you start loving yourself and you start liking that person in the mirror, then you start going, oh, you know what? I want to put the best fuel inside my body. And I don't mean fuel to make me look better. I mean fuel to make me feel better. You know, that's going to make my engine or my machine, you know, operate at its premium efficiency. And so, you know, that's the thing. It's mental health, where it comes back to, like, how do you feel about yourself? Because that is what ultimately is going to determine the decisions that you make. You know?
And the best thing is everyone it has like the same opportunity that we all have to make that choice. If you don't make the choice, it's simply because you're not open to do it.
100%.
You can 100%. Shift. And I want to point another thing, like we were talking about judgment before.
Yeah.
I would say, guys, attention, because it could be opposite of what we think is judgment. Like we're always talking about judgment for maybe an overweight person, but I met in the past lots of colleagues. They were competing in bodybuilding and be on the stage and look practically perfect. You could see a muscle. You know what? They were not happy and they were depressed.
Yeah.
Because their life was based only in what other people could think about them and how they perceived their body. Nothing, like nobody was asking how do they feel. And to get there, maybe they did lots of bunch of stuff that they didn't like it, that it wasn't sustainable, it wasn't good for their body and their health. It's just lots of restriction just to be and look perfect.
Exactly.
So it can be powerful, the judgment. It's not like someone that maybe look fit or super shred is necessarily happy.
Yeah. It's a tough sport, man. You have to be mentally, man, like, you know, I mean, the sport is based on what someone thinks of you and how you look compared to somebody else. So, you know, when you're up on the stage, basically there's saying he looks better than you, she looks better than her, that, you know, and it's all based on someone's opinion of what you look like, which is, you know, that's tough. You got to be mentally tough to be able to take that and not have it affect you in your normal life, you know, because that must, I mean, the effects of that, you know, I mean, even just somebody standing in front of the mirror and looking in the mirror, you know, but here you are up on a stage in front of the whole world, you know, and you're in nothing.
And I'm not saying it's wrong. Attention. I'm not saying it's wrong. As far as is that what is exactly what you want. You're not doing for someone else or just to look better. If it makes you feel good.
Exactly. And I can see the art behind it as well, the creative side of it as well. You know, I mean, you know, being able to look in the mirror and see something that, you know, you want to work on, or, you know, a part of your body that you want to build up to a stronger level. And also, you know, there's lots of really cool stories too with bodybuilding about, you know, people that have had accidents and, you know, have come back and trained and, you know, made these amazing gains, like, you know, after car accidents or things like that. And I think, you know, mentally, that sense of achievement of being able to come back from something like that and say, hey, look, man, look, you know, I've come back and I've, you know, made these changes and things like that. I think, you know, I can see, I definitely have a lot of respect for them, man, but I just...
You must have a deep reason for everything.
Yeah, exactly, bro, exactly.
But for me, the way I see, for example, the difference between just the looking and the not looking, for example, for me, sports, it really gives you, first of all, more connection to people because you play with other people, you travel with the team, you spend dinner, time in the hotel, whatever you do. Even in a small scale, like even if you travel to the next village to play and maybe then you have, I don't know, a pizza together. But it's community. And second, I was feeling great every time we were performing and gave our best. But not based, of course, on the way we're looking. Yeah. When you win a game or when you're happy about what you do, again, that happiness is inside you. So I believe you're in sports, and then as a consequence, you have an athletic body.
Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, I mean, some of the most epic photographs are you know, of sports people are when they're looking their worst, you know, but they've they've just, you know, maybe won the World Cup, or, you know, people crying over the trophy or something like that.
Yeah, or like,
exactly.
you die, no more energy left.
Exactly. You know, but that's that human spirit that we love to see. You know, we thrive on seeing that, you know, because that human element is what, you know, what we really want to come out, you know.
Yeah, sports for me, life is life, and movement is life. Simply, since I was a kid, since I was born, if I was moving, I was feeling great. If I wasn't moving, I wasn't feeling good. And when I started school, I was actually struggled because I were too much time sitting. But that make people understand if they never try. For example, the power of mindset and the power of the community working in the same goal together. I play soccer and basketball for many years. Yeah. For example, sometimes like it can be really like a rugby too. Imagine the last 3 minutes that you just under and you play to win or lose, and your energy physically are basically gone. Yeah. But mentally, you really badly want something, and then there are your mates cheating on you, or the mates outside the game cheating on the team. You got somewhere this energy coming back, and that 3 minutes you're playing harder than before, even if the tank was empty.
Yeah, totally.
So this is coming not from how much you train physically, but from the power that you get from the community and the mindset and the people around you. Otherwise, there is no way you would do it.
Oh, hell no. Well, we thrive on each other's energy. You know, you see it in workouts, you know, when people are, because, you know, we take all with group classes, you know, and I PT'd for a while, you know, I did one-on-ones for a few years, but I never really enjoyed it as much as I enjoy a group environment, because you see that community, and you see people helping each other out, and you see people coming out of their shells. Normally people who would, you know, might not even talk to anyone at their work or their office, they come into the gym, and you know, they feel comfortable and they feel safe. And because they're sharing that blood, the sweat and the tears, you know, there's that shared sense of unity and goal and vision and purpose. You know, they feel relaxed enough to be themselves, you know, which is it's pretty special.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm looking forward one day, if I travel to New Zealand, I will come and visit you.
Brother, you will always be welcome here, my man.
In the meantime, if some of you is around Auckland, come and check out this guy. If you want to be part of a great community, like, as you can see, it's all about that. And if you want to feel great, and then on top of that, even look better as a consequence, like, that's the place to be. And personally, if you want to reach out to me, I'm happy to talk. And as like great example, sometimes we use a word that is quite dangerous. We are too busy. But we were talking about Steve, like someone else that maybe is much busier than us, and still have time to answer everyone and with an open heart. Totally. And that's, for me, is really inspiring. Stay tuned, and I want to say, like, thank you so much for your time, Joe.
Thank you, my brother.
Really appreciate it, and I'm really grateful to have this conversation, because, as we said before, we're growing all the time. We connect.
Exactly, vibration.
So that means really a lot for me. So
me too,
thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Much love from New Zealand. Much love from New Zealand, brother.
What can you say on a typical expression from your Highland?
So from Samoa, I say "Fasoi fua," which means "go well, see you later."
Good.
Take care.
We need to.
Fasoi fua.
See you guys. Thank you.
Take it easy, brother.